I'm back at it. Oh, this is copyright all over the place, baby. We gone.
Just keep talking over it. We're good.
That's right. Yeah, just keep chatting, baby. Welcome back. And don't sing.
All right. Shout out to Jeezy on that one.
Oh, yeah.
So we're back for part 2 of our Week 7 NFL picks. The next game on our list is Bears at Buccaneers. Buccaneers are 12.5-point favorites. Over under set at 47. I am going to take the Bears getting 12.5.
Whoa.
The Bucs just aren't they don't put their foot on people's throats and shut them down. You know, even if the Bucs are up by 20 points, they could let
their foot in the ground.
I put my foot in my fucking mouth there.
They don't put their foot in the ground and talk to you with their face.
No, they don't anymore. But I'm excited to see Justin Fields. I think the Bears could, hold the Bucs under 30 points, and the Bears make enough plays to keep it within 12.5. Like I said, even if the Bucs get out to a big lead, they're the type of team that the defense chooses when it's going to play hard and when it's going to take their foot off the gas. 12.5 points is a lot. I'll take the Bears getting 12.5. Brad, you seem like, looking at your face, you seem like you disagree. So what do you got for this one?
I think you're crazy with the Bears, but I'm going to keep riding my trend. We're going to go under again.
Oh, my God. This is 4 fucking unders in a row.
Under a 47.
This better not be
I hope they all go over.
So,
Red Zone's going to
really
suck.
do.
So
Red Zone will suck if this
the last
happens,
3
man.
weeks, the Bears have held the Packers to 24, which kind of expected. The Raiders to 9 and the Lions to 14. And then you look at Tampa, they beat Philly last week 28-22. They've also only beat the Patriots 19-17, Cowboys by 2, and they lost to the Rams by 10. So any good team they've played, it's been a close game. I don't think unless Fields just starts turning the ball over like crazy, which I don't see, I think both, it's one of those, like Matt, you're saying, the Bucs aren't the Bucs from last year yet. They like show flashes. One drive, they look amazing, and AB's taking a screen past 50 yards. But yeah, I'm seeing like a 30-10 maybe win. I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as you guys think.
Fucking nuts.
I don't think it's going to be high scoring either, but the under is a little bit low.
Over
for my liking. The Bucs defense isn't solid. The Bears is, but they're going against an offense that can get anybody. So, but you must have looked at the games this week and just been like, I'll just keep taking unders.
Yeah,
I'm gonna beat the shit out of Scott Hansen if this happens.
I mean, sure. Jimmy, the over's there for you if you want to take it.
I'll have to see him. Oh, I'm taking it, dude. Because I'll have to see his ass all afternoon. They won't have any games to show. You go, well, welcome back. All right, they're in commercial break. We've had 3 touchdowns today in the new window, and we're gonna go quad box here. Each team is past the 50-yard line, so that's become the new red zone, guys. Take a look.
Is that your official pick? Is over 47?
Yeah, over 47. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's easy.
Let's move on because that was a game I had to throw in there. 1, because it's the Bucs, and 2, because the games this week aren't great. There's not a lot of good matchups. There's some thinkers. Yeah. So moving along to Sunday Night Football. Not a great game either. Colts at 49ers. Jimmy, you start us off here. What do you got for this?
I mean, first of all, thanks to the NFL. Thanks, Goodell. This is whoever planned this knows what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's not like there's any better matchup out there.
They've had good matchups so far, though.
Yeah, no, they have.
For Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, and why go divisional when you can get Indy and San Fran? Like, why would you want the Bengals and the fucking Ravens when you can do this? It makes
but you got to think when they
way more sense.
Created this at the time. These are 2 teams hypothetically competing for a playoff.
Niners were not.
It's kind of like this Thursday game.
I think the Niners would be if they didn't have so many injury issues.
That's the point. And unless Andrew Luck comes out of the goddamn, gate, then I don't think the Colts are anywhere near there either. Well, that division's shitty, but I like Indy's money line in this one. I had it plus 170.
Okay.
And I'll take that.
Colts no money lines over here.
Oh,
No, but they're underdogs. They're underdogs.
Oh, okay. If they're a dog.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take money line favorites when we're keeping track of picks. We all did it early when it was a 3-point spread. We would say, I don't trust them to cover, but I'll take them to win. We can't do that anymore. We're in mid-season form at this point. We don't need to rely
we've been
on
so good with our
picks
that we don't need money lines.
Yeah.
Like we can use like the points, make it more fair because we've been killing it.
I'm with Jimmy here. I'll take the Colts, but I will take them getting the 4 points. It's a bad line to me. What are the 49ers doing to earn being 4-point favorites?
I don't know.
I just don't know. I don't really understand the line.
I think they're just saying
Colts
that Andy
proved they're a better team up
to
this point. So
probably being at home.
Brad, I don't even have the over for this game.
Actually,
it's 44.
It's low.
I'm not touching 44. This one.
Yeah,
it's 44.
I was like, dude, if he
doesn't this seem like the Vegas? Like, there's always one every week we talk about where it's like we just don't understand this line. It doesn't make sense, and it ends up being close. So I'm going with Jimmy. I think Indy should be the favorite. I mean, when this line got set, it wasn't even guaranteed that Jimmy G was going to play. Now at this point, it sounds like he is, but Trey Lance won't. So I'm gonna go like Jimmy, take that money line because I think it could be a last-second field goal. I know it's not going to be Blankenship, so that kind of makes it scary as well. But
don't
the
Colts
have
2 kickers?
Well, Blankenship is out. Right now. The sports specs.
I know Blankenship. Yeah, I know his.
But you think about the last 3 games. They beat the Texans, they beat the Dolphins, and they took the Ravens to overtime. So it's like they're beating the teams they should, and they're hanging with the teams that maybe they shouldn't, or I don't know. But I just think
they got a good run.
Taylor runs on them, I think, and Wentz is looking better. He went for he's thrown 2 touchdowns 2 weeks in a row now.
Holy crap!
He went for 223 last week.
He's going to tore his labrum on Sunday.
Yeah, he'll probably roll out, try to make a big play, and break his collarbone.
Break his ankle.
So we're all on the Colts.
Yep.
Brad and I took the Colts getting 4 points. Jimmy took the money line. The 49ers are just too beat up. And the Colts have played good, like Brad said, 3 weeks in a row. So enough on them because that isn't a very exciting Sunday night football slate. But Monday night, I am pretty excited about because it's Jameis time in prime time, baby.
There's another
the things you find exciting. What the fuck?
The Saints are 4.5-point favorites on the road at Seattle. So I'll take it away here. I'm taking the Saints to win by 4.5 or more. Jameis in prime time. That's all that has to be said here. Jameis under the bright lights. This is going to be the game of the week, man. I picked him up in fantasy football in our Yahoo.
It's not going to be. It's been forced to be that. It is the game of the week. It's Monday Night Football. You're telling us it's the game of the week.
Jameis could be playing the Jaguars.
How many times could be playing the Jaguars? You're like the kid that sticks his hand over fire.
No, dude.
Burned.
Okay, then go against me. Go against me. But Jameis gets the job done against a shitty defense. Jameis throws for at least 3 touchdowns in this game. It's like I can't wait. I'm more excited about this game than the Bucs game on Sunday. First Jameis prime time. Am I
crazy here, Jimmy? Am I?
What?
I mean, what is he talking about?
What am I missing?
What are you talking about?
Okay,
the team
take the
that
Seahawks.
Ruined you and the team. Yeah, I am. I'll take the 4.5 all day.
At home?
I thought exactly at home. Geno didn't look terrible.
Jameis is built the ball for that.
Over.
Oh, he's built to play.
That Saints defense isn't that great anymore. Alex Collins looked like a stud. I don't know where he came from, but he rushed for 101 and a touchdown last week.
Yeah.
I think the Saints run D is not going to be able to handle the Seahawks. The Seahawks to me are a lot like the Broncos now. You have like a quarterback.
They don't have even a decent defense. Don't make that comparison.
You're right, but neither New Orleans offense isn't scary.
Oh,
they have Kamara and what? They have Kamara and what?
It's scary.
Deontay Harris can hit you for a 60-yard touchdown at any play.
How often does he do?
Callaway catches Hail Marys for breakfast.
Yeah, they could. They probably.
I don't even know who their tight end is.
I feel like you're throwing darts out there, and I'm gonna take a shotgun. I'll take mine.
Yeah. So Seattle, Geno Smith will be starting again. Jimmy, are you on the Seahawks side of this as well?
I like the Saints, and parlayed with the over though on the money line. So I can that's cool because I'm
Saints
parlaying
in the over.
and the
Okay.
over.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
Okay.
I just don't. It's two backups, but I think Jameis
is no backup.
He is a backup.
All right, but I mean,
he is a
whatever.
backup on a good team. He's a backup.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think Geno Smith, dude, with a week to prepare for him. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah,
It's a shame Russ is out, man. This game actually would be really fun to watch if Russ was playing in it.
I think it is
him
big.
And Jameis would be trying to throw it all over.
Dude, no, this is James.
I don't think it'd be even close then. It would be a bloodbath.
No, they would.
Russ
but
would
still, then Jameis would have to chuck it
Right.
more, and it'd be funny.
I think it is big, though. The Seahawks, they've lost Carson for a few weeks, but they are getting back that Rashad Penny, who's more like kind of a pass catcher out of the backfield.
Yeah.
So if you have him and Collins, that kind of almost makes up for Carson not being there, I think.
Just nothing makes up for not having
Collins did look
Russ.
good.
Yeah, you can't recreate Russ.
No.
And what he does for that offense.
All right, we're split on that game there. I'll be super excited to see that Monday Night Football game. But let's move it on. Let's move it on to our best segment, arguably the lock of the week. The one pick you feel the most confident about going into the weekend.
Tag this, minute mark this or whatever, and the timestamp it and the thing so we know. Because
I'll be sure to bookmark it.
Yeah, everybody fast forwards to get these, and then they just place their bets.
I'll put it in the comments where to go to for this one.
I'm going to take the lead on this one. Just to preface, I'm 0-6 on my lock of the weeks through 6 weeks. So whatever I pick, go against me. But this week, I'm not losing. I'm taking the Colts +4 on the road in San Francisco. This Colts team is better than the 49ers. I'm keeping it simple this week. I'm just taking the one line I feel like is wrong based on everything I've seen, and I'm taking the Colts getting 4 on the road for Sunday Night Football. That's my lock of the week. You don't like
just the money line on that one? You actually
you're still not embracing this whole lock thing. Like if it's a lock, when you just say Colts win. Because I'm not taking any chances.
No, because the line is so bad.
I think you're confident, but I think our confidence is what's fucked up some of our locks too.
When you're 0-6, you don't give away those 4 points. You take the extra 4 points, and even if the Colts lose on a late
even
field
if they
goal,
win,
I think when you're 0-6, you take the Bucs money line and you say that's my lock of the week. I think that's what you do.
No, dude, I don't think that's even legal.
Yeah, that's lame.
So somebody else take it away. Jimmy, you go. What's your lock of the week?
And this will be
You're 1-5 on locks of the week.
Hey, I got one. No one's gonna see this when I say it probably anyway. So I'm going Broncos tonight. I think we beat the Browns. And if we can't, Vic Fangio has to be gone, dude. I can't see it. So
get it out of the way early. I will be parlaying our locks of the week right after we record. I'm going to parlay all these just because I feel like we're so fucking due to hit these.
Yeah,
that it's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're all going to hit them.
That is
so, Brad, give me something I like, and it's
too.
not allowed to be the Seahawks because I can't add that to a parlay.
We're not taking money lines, right? We're doing a team.
I mean, you can do a money line dog. But you can do a money line dog. You could do.
I did Denver money line.
You could do an over or under. Yeah.
I like the Raiders. I think the
Raiders.
Yeah, I think by 3. I think at home, that home environment. I thought it was going to be kind of cheesy and fake being in Vegas. Yep, and I thought it'd just be tourists and people that really don't give a shit about the team. But that's a loud crowd there, and for whatever reason, they seem to be rallying around. Gruden kind of, because when you really look at it, he made those dumb comments, but he got screwed because there's even rumors now that Dan Snyder purposely leaked emails for the NFL to then open an investigation into everything.
Oh, fuck him.
Yeah.
Because he hates Bruce Allen, who's the guy that Gruden was corresponding with in all this.
Yeah. I mean, so it's obvious that somebody was out to get Gruden. There's I'm not defending what he said in the emails.
No, it's just there's people that were out to get him, basically.
Yep. Yeah,
if there was someone like that for any person in the NFL, people would get shit would come out like it. In your private, nobody does shit in their.
Well,
everyone has fucking skeletons in their closet. They don't.
What other owner would invite the NFL? Please come check us out.
Except Schneider's fucking faggot ass.
I mean,
man. That guy is a fucking Oh man,
I think even Pops would say it'd be a happy day when he gets pushed out and somebody else
force him to
takes
sell
over.
the team.
Right, exactly. Kind of like the NBA did with the
Didn't
Clippers.
he refuse to change the name until pretty much like they made him change the name?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't gonna do it.
The other owners basically kind of told him, like, if you want your cut of NFL money, you're gonna at least make it something that's correct.
The guy's a fucking slime ball.
Just in review, like our lock of the weeks, I'm telling all of the listeners, make this parlay. We got the Colts +4. We got the Broncos money line.
Well,
and we got the Raiders -3. You parlay those together, I'm guessing you're going to get like +400, maybe +500 odds.
In case they're listening after Friday. Well, no, I'll just roll with that. But or after tonight's game.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah, I could come up with another one maybe, but
or just throw any one of those heavy favorites. You know, you got like the Rams, the Bucks. Who else? I can't think of.
Throw like the Ravens money line on there.
No, not the. I don't like the Ravens. How about the Rams against the Lions?
Yeah,
the Rams money line.
Well, or even the Bucks. I think you're going to get a better money line on the Bucks. I think that's a lower. Than.
Okay, so we gave our better some options here. Yeah. Okay,
giving ourselves some options.
Let's move on to some fantasy football. Every week we pick a favorite fantasy player, a good matchup, somebody that's going to go off. So, Brad, you start us off here. What fantasy player do you like? Give us a little bit of a prediction.
Yeah, I love Darrell Henderson against the Lions this week.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of have an interesting revenge game with Goff, but also it's kind of a revenge game for McVay too. And the way they use Henderson, it's not like he even would need 100 yards rushing to be the highest outside of a quarterback fantasy points leader, because they use him in the passing game so well. You know, he's had over 100 yards the past 2 games, at least a touchdown the past 2 games. He had 107 and 2 this past week. Detroit they're going to be behind early. It's going to get ugly.
Yeah.
And they've given up they gave up 94 to Mixon last week, but the 2 weeks before that, it was Madison for 113 and a touchdown, and then Montgomery for 106 and 2. So you figure if he puts up that line rushing with another 50 and a touchdown receiving, that's going to be a huge week for Henderson.
Okay. I like that. Let me ask you something though. I have all these fantasy teams with like all sorts of people on buys. Sony Michel's available. You think Sony gets some work? He has the red question mark of death next to his name. But do you think this is a matchup where the Rams are up by 20 and it's Sony Michel time?
I think it's very I really do. If you are that desperate for like a touchdown dependent back, if he gets a touchdown, you're probably gonna get 10 points out of him. Easy. Yeah. I just think Detroit hasn't even hung close with some teams lately. You know, the head coach
last week especially.
Right. You know, the head coach is calling out Goff. We already know Goff is kind of weird and mentally weak. So like you're doing everything wrong. I feel like going into a game where like McVay knows him better than anyone. So it's just, I feel like this defense is going to torture him.
Pressure.
So I really think you could see like 180 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns out of the backfield this week.
All right, Jimmy, what about you?
Well, yeah, I'll just go kind of chalker more. I like Derrick Henry at Kansas City. I think they can they'll just be able to ground and pound the whole game. I think they're going to slow the game down. And for whatever reason, dude, the Titans have proved that they can keep up with a team scoring a lot of points by still running with Derrick Henry. Like they'll bust a 35-yard run and it's like, holy shit. And now they just need a couple of check down or like dump offs, pick up the extra yards, and then they get a touchdown from him for, a 20-yard run. So yeah, I like Derrick Henry. It looks like on Yahoo non-PPR, he's projected 102 yards this week.
Yeah.
So you give that, you shot it. You had the good guess at 110.
Yeah, I said Vegas would set it at like 110.
And he's projected 19.49 points.
Give me a number that Derrick Henry goes for this weekend. 150, 130, 190.
128.
128?
Yeah.
That'd be serviceable.
Realistic, yeah. I know I had him on my list too.
And then maybe like 3 touchdowns, though. I really think they could, because if it gets to the game flow the Titans want it to be, he's just going to eat up the clock and just kill him. So I think, yeah, man, I really, I hope it turns into that kind of a game.
You think 200 yards is impossible? Because I can
not, but
I think he could get there.
But I just know the way they value him too. I don't know if depending it'd have to go game.
Him.
He would need like a 70-yard run. No, I'm saying like Derrick Henry. They're not just gonna I don't know who they're but they're not gonna get him out there to just run to get 200 yards.
Jeremy McNichols is their backup. Jeremy McNichols is their backup because Tampa Bay drafted him. Too? Only reason I know.
Is Evans another back? I know they used him out more as like a receiver this past week, but I think he's a running back too. Because he had a real nice kind of just stutter step and go.
Yeah. So, but 200, it just, again, he's a big guy. It's like it would scare. I feel like Vrabel, isn't that their coach or whatever? Isn't that, he would, he's not, he knows where, I mean, the one guy.
You think game flow might prevent him from it, right?
Would prevent him from 200.
Okay.
Like just because if it gets to a point where he could get 200, by that point, he might be they might be just
game over,
the clock out. Yeah.
All right. So on to my pick for fantasy player of the week. I got to go against my Bucks again. I'm taking Allen Robinson against the Bucks. I've just watched our secondary for enough weeks with them being beaten up. They haven't went against a guy like Allen Robinson yet that can exploit him. And this is the week. Allen Robinson is the type of receiver. He's not talked about enough for being a top 10 wide receiver.
Way too underrated.
So do you think he's still a top 10 receiver with Fields though?
I think, but that's the point.
Fields throws the ball good, man. It's just a matter of giving him the opportunity to do so, making sure he's protected, which could be an issue against the Bucks. That's the one way this game gets out of hand is if the Bears O-line just can't stop the Bucks front and Fields is just taking heat all day.
Top in the league, probably, right?
I would put their front four against anybody.
Right. Yeah.
They're at least run wise. I'd definitely put you probably tops in the league. Yeah. But I mean, he's not even the receiving leader on his team right now. It's Darnell Mooney.
Yeah. I mentioned a few weeks ago, nobody fucking knew about. Yeah.
You did.
But yeah, Allen Robinson gets it done this week versus the Bucks. They don't have a corner that can match up with him. So that's my fantasy player of the week. Don't be scared of the Bucks defense. If you got Allen Robinson, keep him in the lineup. He'll do work. I'll trade for him if somebody makes the right offer.
Well, guys, I like 5 team trades.
Yeah.
Mo's going to be wheeling and dealing.
All right.
Do we get points per route run in this league?
we get yards. We get yards per walking on the sideline, right? Like my guy, they call the timeout, and he walked to the sideline, then he came back.
Hey, speaking of, he was already annoyed for taking too long. I was laughing at that. I was like,
you got a text or a phone call?
Yeah, he knows the drill. The alert.
We'll be done before the 7 o'clock kickoff.
What did we call him? What was he last week? The not the commissioner, but the program director or some shit.
Whatever.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
What are we on to
next? The producer. Our producer.
Mo Birdie's the producer. Producer Mo.
Yeah. Promo. Hey,
there we go.
All right.
Hey, homo.
Let's move it along. This is another one of our favorite ones. First red zone touchdown.
Oh, yeah, baby.
First red zone touchdown.
So damn close, man.
I'm going to piggyback off of your fantasy player, Jimmy. I'm taking Derrick Henry. First red zone touchdown on Sunday. How about he busts like a 60-yarder just right off the bat?
Do it, baby.
No, they get the ball first. Derrick Henry, 60 yards, touchdown.
You think if he does a 60-yarder on the opening drive, he gets 200?
Yeah, it could set the tone enough. Yeah. So
that's
the best percentage
in their head.
I feel like if Vegas were to set the odds on first red zone touchdown this Sunday, Derrick Henry would have he'd be the favorite. So I'm just gonna go with I'm just gonna put some thought into this one instead of just taking a stab at somebody. Derrick Henry,
gotcha. I like it.
Touchdown during red zone.
Well, I'm gonna stick with kind of chalk too as well. I'm going Devontae. Packers are at home. I'm thinking Washington wins. They defer. Rodgers is going to throw into him. He's kind of had a weird trend this year where he has like a really good week and then an okay week, really good week, okay week. So for Devontae, like week 3, 132 and a touchdown. Week 4, 64. Week 5, 209 and a touchdown. Week 6, 89. So I see the Washington giving up almost 320 yards passing. I'm thinking 100 and a touchdown. and he's getting it on the first drive.
That's a good pick. The Packers can start slow, but then again, any team
they can, and I think that's
nowadays.
LaFleur's fault. I think they have
play calling.
Jim? Yeah, exactly. Just very passive. Very passive.
Jimmy's thinking. He's in his box.
No.
Which defense this week?
We're
going to guys. No defense?
Well, I had.
Give us all three of them. Give us all three of them.
All right.
Yeah.
I had Aaron Jones was my first because
that's your first.
I thought they could
so
get
we're
down.
putting on the list.
Well, actually, originally it was I mixed. So yes, Aaron Jones I put at first.
That's who you're putting as your final answer. Okay.
Yeah. Then Hollywood Brown on just a bomb to start.
I had Mark Andrews as a backup.
Okay, so Hollywood Brown could hit a fucking play action bomb, and then the Patriots defense against. I think they
thought about them too.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so mad when New England has the first touchdown.
Yeah, I know, and I didn't pick.
Whatever. Brad, didn't I mention it to you off the air? I was like, I thought about the Pets defense.
Yeah.
I brought them up as well because it's Zach Wilson. Yeah. You never know.
It's not a bad. I mean, we've talked about this before. When teams are backed up at their own 25. That's
right, dude.
Much greater probability than almost any other time in the game.
A team like the
play good against Belichick on the road, man. It's got the making of a 25-0 kind of game.
In a team like the Jets, if they receive the first kickoff, they'll get called for that holding penalty.
They'll be on the 15, 10, 12-yard
exactly. Shoot themselves in the foot somehow, naturally.
All right. So that's it for fantasy. And we'll see what we got.
I thought one of you
went with Aaron Jones though as your first red zone touchdown.
Yeah.
Okay,
I like that one though too.
So the next segment, we'll see how this goes because this might be a little bit redundant. We'll see. Favorite underdog. I've already talked about it enough. For me, it's the Colts. They're my lock of the week. I don't feel like they should be 4-point underdogs playing against the 49ers. So the Colts are my favorite dog. Brad, what do you got? Favorite underdog?
This is more just because I have faith in the head coach. I think Dolphins plus 2.5 against the Falcons.
Atlanta.
I know they've had a little extra rest coming back from London, but that's a weird fucking trip. And just the Falcons they're a weird team. And I think Miami, it's kind of like we saw last week with the Raiders rallying around each other with Gruden getting canned. I think you're hearing all these rumors about Deshaun Watson coming in. I think they rally around Tua. And I think they have a good game. And if they don't win, they cover that 2.5.
I expected them to be so much better this year, man.
I mean, to lose really 5 straight like they have. I mean, I know we've talked about this like earlier this week that, they were without their 2 best corners, and Howard and Jones are one of the best duos in the league when they're right. And that's where I just feel like it's too much talent. The Falcons are so like one-dimensional almost on offense.
I remember going as far as saying like the Dolphins beat the Patriots on the road week 1, and then they had the Bills the following week. And my thought was like, if they can steal this game against the Bills, they've beaten the 2 toughest teams in their own division, and they got a real good chance at, making the playoffs. And it just all fell apart.
They just have a tough schedule. I mean, you think about it, they've played everybody close. Now, granted, for L's.
The Jacksonville game in London was an exception, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, they got blown out by Buffalo and the Bucs, but I don't think they're that bad of a team. I think they're just a boring 7-9, or I guess 7-10 now, Jeff Fisher kind of team.
Okay. Jimmy, what do you got? Your dog of the week.
I like the well, I won't. Should I go spread or no? Like, can it be that?
You can go money line dog. You can go a dog covering the spread.
All right, I'll go Titans plus 4.5.
Okay,
I think just depending on game flow, it could go that way. And 4.5 is a field goal difference, and maybe it comes again if they're able to control the game. I'd say the Ravens or the Titans are almost a poor man's fucking Raven. Like he can't move as well, obviously, as Lamar, but they have that similar run first like mindset and then Tannehill can get out and run a little bit off the read option and shit like that. So if they can just get those little first downs, and you said, is Julio back or is he out?
Still unknown,
they're
really.
All
he played a little bit last. Julio and AJ Brown both played hurt during that Monday night game.
I have to think one of them
the same situation, Jimmy, both AJ and Julio, and then Tyreek and Kelsey They're all questionable right now. They all didn't practice Wednesday, and they all were kind of either didn't practice or limited today.
I'd have to think
So
at least, yeah. So I think they could stay within 4, man. I'd have to see them all playing. I think the guys in the Titans, you know, they have. I mean, we've kind of bashed them on here, but they've kind of had some wins, man. What are they, 3-3 now or something? Like they're not having a bad.
I believe so.
They're winning games when they kind of need to, and they're staying relevant. You know, they're like whatever, you know, riding this ship or whatever the fuck it's called. Yep. So, yeah,
Chiefs are 3-3 and Titans are 4-2.
Okay,
Titans are 4-2. Yeah, top of that division.
Yeah, man. They're winning games and no one's noticing it. Just like none of us knew what their record.
Well, they're quietly getting really hot. I feel like Tennessee,
like the Ravens have done too, and we've talked about that. I think that when you win quietly like that, you say "fuck it, dude. Who cares? Let them talk about Mahomes and them." And yeah.
Okay.
And like I said, by the way, guys, we talked about this, Matt. And I want to point this out now that Chocolate Eclair's down. The Chiefs are getting hurt, man. The games are piling up. And I said early in this podcast when we first started,
you wished all the injuries on the
No,
Chiefs.
I didn't even wish it. I was like, dude, it's just that you don't go to the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. It's just the injuries pile up. You play more games than every team.
Probabilities against
add
you.
Up.
I would argue Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting hurt was a good thing for him.
Probably, yeah. It was a good thing for me because Darrell Williams fucking that one extra
helped
point
beat me in fantasy. He had 2 tutties on Sunday. Yeah.
2 tutties.
Well, this seemed to be the week that Kansas City was most dedicated to the run game too. Like they really didn't. They kind of stuck with it even.
They relied
when it was
on
ineffective
him.
at times.
He looked more on the goal line, dude. That was huge. He was able to punch it in when Chocolate Eclair.
Yeah, he's more physical of a back.
I think part of it too is I think Andy Reid's gonna not that he ever will be frustrated with Mahomes, but some of the hero ball he's playing. It's a little more Brett Favre, I think, than Andy Reid would like.
I thought your world
tower leaning.
Twin Towers were going down back there.
They're all empty. They're all empty. It won't matter.
Yeah, just be funny as shit if that happens.
So
man.
We got to save some time for it. Thursday night football player props. I'll start it off here because I got 2 that I really like. First of all, aside from player props, I'm taking the Broncos money line tonight. I just have that feeling. It's the Broncos night.
What's the line at now? I haven't refreshed.
I haven't looked again, but last I saw it was Broncos were getting a point. So you could probably get them plus like 100, plus 110.
They're back up to 1.5.
Okay. So Broncos money line, we got that out of the way.
I had them at plus 1.
I really like Javonte Williams over 48.5 rushing yards. And I also really like Timmy Patrick over 43.5.
Timmy P.
I'm glad
Timmy
you
P
caught
is my boy.
The Javonte one though, because to me that's like egregiously low.
Yeah. He's hit that. Hasn't he hit that almost like every week? Every time I seem to look at a box score.
The past 5 weeks, I would have to think so. Because he's kind of become like the 1A to Melvin Gordon as the 1B.
Yeah. They'll bring in Gordon on the goal line.
He looks way better. Javonte looks so much better than Melvin Gordon running the ball.
45, 64, 29, 48, 61, 53.
He leads the league in yards after contact right now, Javonte. So, you know, I mean, that's to me one of the most explosive run stats you can look at. And usually it's like Derrick Henry. Usually it's like Mark Ingram's up there. And the fact that Javante's leading the pack as a rookie, I think speaks a lot.
I've liked what I've seen.
I know you've hyped on him. And I really think though, too, I've always been steady with Melvin. I'm actually,
You're going to take the same prop?
I kind of have 2. I like Teddy 2 gloves. Touchdown over a 1.5 is plus 120.
I like that. I always like that bet on quarterbacks.
I also think he's going to be very conservative tonight. The over under is basically 1 pick. It's half. I'm thinking he throws a pick, so I'm taking the 115 there. But then Melvin Gordon, we kind of talked about as the 1B in the backfield. I'm taking the over on receptions, receiving yards, and longest reception. Because they only think he's going to get 12.5 receiving yards and 1.5 receptions.
He's a good receiving back. I'll give him that.
And that's kind of what they've used him more as, because I think Javonte, they've kind of tried to simplify for him. And Jimmy, you watch more than I do, but it seems like it's kind of like with Baltimore. You see, like
They're
certain
not
guys
throwing
get
to him.
they get like the juicy like counter reads, because Javante's going to hit it hard and get 10, but then on that halfback screen, it's Gordon.
It'll be Gordon for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I like. I guess in that one I would go.
What about Sutton? What's Sutton sitting at?
I don't know. I'm looking at Teddy Two Gloves complete.
Is there a bet? Like, can you guarantee Vaughn gets 2 sacks? Because I'd put.
I have not been able to find that. I was actually thinking about that.
It's not a bet,
mentioned
but
Vaughn's quote earlier.
I've never heard him talk like that, saying "I'll kill somebody this week."
Yeah, that's true, man.
Like
I haven't either, and
that's a Derek Wolf line.
The funny thing is, I watched
like "I'll eat your children" kind of thing.
Shit. I've seen a lot of their stuff this week, and that one didn't. I didn't hear that, man, which is really weird. But but yeah, I mean, I would just go. I guess I don't know. It's a fucking go Teddy Two Gloves over 20 completions. I don't
over
know.
20. That seems like a decent bet. What do you have odds there on that?
Yeah, it's -114 when I screenshotted it.
Okay, over 20 receptions
this afternoon. Yep, over 20. Well,
that's a low number. Yeah, I mean, I know they're not a real passing team, but that's still a low amount. You got to complete 5 balls a quarter.
Yeah, you go through his games. It's 28, 26, 19, 7, 24, 35. The
Was there a 7 in there?
There's a 7, but he got hurt against Baltimore, so he got a concussion and was out. So that's the only time it wasn't over that. The only thing that scares me, and the best part about that would be that we're winning, and he doesn't have to throw the ball that much, But
yeah,
right. That the run game is successful, like we're talking. That I know. I was shocked to see like Noah Fant over under. I think his receiving yards was around like 40, and it's just I wish they would involve him more in that offense. But they seem
hard to trust that bet because
they don't
bring him in.
The targets aren't there yet.
Yeah. He's like a trending. If you go into a PPR league, he's one of the better tight ends. And there's not much. We always know that it falls off after you get past Andrews or whatever. Maybe Jared Cook, and then boom, and you got to depend on a touchdown. And Fant is one of those guys that's right up there. If he's not, he's up there with Schultz.
How about this one? We're running out of time, but how about this last one? Tim Patrick to score at least 2 touchdowns plus 1,900.
Hit it.
What do you think about those odds? 19-1.
Matt, wasn't that about the same
I've watched
odds as
every Broncos game, the whole game. He is not, but
wasn't that the
2 touchdowns?
Odds, Matt, was it plus 1,900 the same odds when you said Braylon Edwards was gonna have the most receiving yards of anyone in the game?
Yeah,
he had 4.
But I'm gonna lock it in again. Tim Patrick at least 2 touchdowns. I just locked it in.
We got to wrap up.
All right. Well,
let's wrap it up there.
Make fun of us in the comments and tell us how much better you did better.
Hit him with the ring.
And we'll be back on Monday night to recap the weekend. All right.